Good morning. Today we're looking at Genesis chapter 29, verses 1 through 30. And I encourage you to read this passage personally because it teaches us about God's providence, patient endurance, and how God works even through human weakness as well as deception. In verses 1 through 6, Jacob arrives in the land of the east and comes to a well where shepherds gather. He learns that they know Laban, his mother's brother. This moment shows God's quiet providence. Jacob is not wandering aimlessly. God is guiding his steps to the right place at the right time. In verse 7 through 11, Jacob meets Rachel, Laban's daughter, and helps roll the stone from the well to water her flock. Overcome with emotion, Jacob weeps. After leaving home in uncertainty, God has brought him to family. What seemed like exile is becoming direction under God's hand. In verse 12 through 14, Jacob is welcomed in Laban's house. God is providing connection, provision, and placement. Yet the chapter soon reveals that God's purpose often unfolds through difficult and refining experiences. In verses 15 through 20, Jacob agrees to serve Laban 7 years in order to marry Rachel, who he loves deeply. Scripture says the years seemed like only a few days because of his love for her. This shows devotion and perseverance, but also sets the stage for a reversal. Jacob, who once deceived his father, will now experience deception himself. In verses 21 through 25, Laban deceives Jacob by giving him Leah instead of Rachel. The deceiver is now deceived. This moment reminds us that our actions often return to shape our own lives. Yet even here, God is not absent. He is actually shaping Jacob through consequence and growth. In verses 26 through 30, Laban explains the custom and allows Jacob to marry Rachel after another week in exchange for 7 more years of service. Jacob, of course, agrees and continues faithfully. The chapter closes with Jacob married to both Leah and Rachel. Though the situation is complex and definitely imperfect, God's covenant plan continues to unfold through it. As always, the passage points us to Christ. Just as God was working through imperfect circumstances to shape Jacob and move his promise forward, God works through broken human situations to accomplish his redemptive plan, ultimately fulfilled in Jesus Christ. Today, trust that God is guiding your steps, even when circumstances feel confusing or totally unfair. Continue walking faithfully, serve with patience, and allow God to shape your character through every season, knowing that He is working His purpose even when you cannot see the outcome. God bless.